everybody. This is Paula Loescher, and I am here with my friend Nick Miller. Me and my family have been friends with them for a while, but they have this great new place that my family loves to hang out, and we just wanted to share with you. It's called VR Junkies, and it's in Herriman, so it's very close to our community of Saratoga Springs. So you should come up here and check it out. But we're just here to talk a little bit about him, and he can tell you a little bit about the business. So, hi Nick, how are you?
Good, how you doing, Paula?
Good. So, tell us a little bit about your business and why you decided to do this.
Well, it's kind of a long story. There's a lot of different, when you start a business, there's always a lot of different reasons, right? There's like a whole, it's like a spectrum of things. But I think the thing that really lit the fire that we started this and like pushed us over the edge was that there were so many suicides in Herriman and Riverton area. And back in 2017, it was 9. And that's just too much. And my son would come home every single day and he would say, "Dad, another kid, another one." And he's like, "Why are they doing this?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I have no idea." And so we kind of, me and my wife, we kind of looked at the area and we thought, Herriman's kind of back in the corner of the valley. Kennecott owns the mountains up in here. The military owns the mountains to the south. And so as far as getting out, I mean, there's trails, there's stuff you can do, mountain bike trails and stuff in the area. But kids don't generally get out more. And parents are they're very protective of their children as they should be, right? Kids stay at home more. They don't get out and do things more. And plus in this area, there's no family businesses in this area. There's lots of restaurants. There's tons of banks. If you want to open up a bank account, you got about 10 different options. And then you have, actually more like 20 options. And then you have, of course, 1,000 places to eat, but nowhere really to bring your family. And we thought, that's what this place needs. The place needs a place where you can come as a group, come as a family, and have something fun and do something different that you can't do in your everyday life. Like you can go on walks, you can go out to eat, but you can't go walks on the moon. You can't fly around the city. You can't like go to a real haunted house where the ghosts are real and they feel real. So you can't do anything like that. So we thought, man, VR is the perfect thing that we can do that's new, exciting, and you can do things that you can't do anywhere else.
Yeah, that's cool. When I know I've done it, and yeah, I'm a little bit, lightsabering anyway.
Yeah. No, the more you get into it, the better it is.
Yeah.
When you let yourself.
It is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we highly recommend that. So what has surprised you most about it when you opened the business?
I honestly thought because VR was new and exciting, that I honestly thought that if I opened it up, people would just come. And like curiosity traffic is what I call it. The way that our location is, you don't really necessarily get a lot of walk-by traffic. You get drive-by traffic where people look over and they say, "Well, what's that?" VR is not something that everyone knows about. So the logo by itself isn't a draw. Oh yeah, VR Junkies, you know what I mean? So we've had to go out of our way to do a ton of promotion and try to get out there into the community so that people understand what VR even is, what VR Junkies stands for, and what it means. So yeah, we appreciate this interview.
Oh, awesome. Well, I think that it is so much fun, and I hope people learn how much fun it is and come out and visit. So let's see what else we got for you here. So how long have you been in the neighborhood?
So we opened up in December of 2018, and so we're just a little over a year, like 13, 14 months or so.
And you lived in the this South Valley area?
Yeah, we opened up here. We've been here this whole time.
Okay. And how about you and your family? How long?
Oh, we live in kind of Riverton, Herriman area. We lived here about 12 years. So we've been here a while.
And what is and I know that there's so much growth here, so you've kind of seen all of the growth. This is something that's probably going to help with the growth, or maybe. Yeah.
Well, when we moved in, there was no apartments to the southeast of Herriman, little Herriman pocket, I call it. So now there's a ton. So, and they just approved another big community just to the north of us over here. So that's going to be humongous, and it's high density housing. A lot of people, it's kind of controversial around here because they're like, "Oh, more people," and the roads are already like they widened the roads, but they're still kind of small for how many people actually live in this area. So for me as a business owner, 2 thumbs up, right? Because that's more people. But as a resident, it's kind of like oh man, more people. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword for us, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah, and I feel like that's the way it is for us out in the Saratoga Eagle Mountain area as well. I mean, we are kind of neighbors, so that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
And you kind of talked about this, maybe so roads is something you'd like to see in the improvement and maybe more things
Yeah,
for families.
But I mean, like, roads is another kind of double-edged sword, because you want the roads to be done. You don't want to live here while they're being done.
Right.
Because of all the traffic, and you have to go down to the lanes and all that stuff. But they say, I don't know all the details, but they say they're gonna widen Mountain View Corridor, which is a win-win, and then maybe put a bridge over 134 over here, and then have the off-ramps and stuff. So then I think they're gonna do a bunch of work on Bangerter, like, we lost the Texas
Crazy.
Roadhouse because the way that the things are.
Oh,
But
is
if
that
you-
what happened?
Yeah, but if you go down Bangerter, when you hit the district area, they have that new overpass, which is really nice. I mean, it's gonna be really nice instead of like stoplight.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't like how many stoplights are adding to Mountain View. There's
Yeah,
a million
not either.
stoplights now.
Yeah,
It feels
That
like it.
helps.
There's not a million.
but it does.
It feels like it.
Okay, well, let's get back to a little bit. I want to tell people more about your business and what you do. And I know that you've actually had some other thoughts about how it can help people in like care centers and
Mhm.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
kind of tell us.
Getting it just in regular VR is one thing, and being like, oh wow, this is really interesting. But like knowing why it does what it does, for me, adds a little bit more validity on why we do it.
Well, and I think that knowing why to do it, and just why people would want to come and do
Okay.
it, as well as how it can help people.
Okay, so this question will answer kind of both those questions. So back when VR was first kind of introduced, they wanted to know what the effect on the brain was, because there's a huge controversy with video games with violence,
Right.
and they don't want you don't want your kids to be playing something that's going to inherently make you more violent, right? Now, I'm a proponent of video games being more used as a tool for family bonding or like parental bonding instead of just leaving your kids there. I'm not a big fan of video games being like a babysitter. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So through that vein, right, it's a small percentage of that, because most parents go, here, take that, stop crying, stop doing
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
So here's what VR does for us. VR, when you put on the headset, you go to a different place. You're not stuck like this, or you're not in one place like this. You're moving, you're shaking, you're dodging, you're twisting, you're turning, your heartbeat starts pumping, and the blood goes up to your brain, and serotonin kicks in, and it makes for an enjoyable experience. Now, when you're in VR, and why this relates to the suicide prevention, is that because your heart rate gets beating, and because your brain is using physically, your brain's a muscle. And so when you go to new areas, your brain lights up and starts mapping out the new areas, right? And it flexes your brain and sends blood to all the different areas, and you start feeling better about yourself. You start feeling more calm, you start feeling more into the experience. And no one who's ever played VR has not screamed or like, ah, or said, whoa, or
I
been
can
like,
attest
oh
to
my
that.
gosh, or anything like that, right? Once you
Yes.
get in it, it's mind blowing. And so that takes you out of that funk that you are in your life. Now, how this applies to all different ages is that when you're 5 and younger, 6 and younger, VR is a little over it's beyond what you can handle. Your
Okay,
brain's
so-
developing, and like when you go into a virtual world, you're like, what the heck is going on? And it's kind of scary. Then that's one of the other things that we've had to overcome, is that people are scared to put on the headset because they don't know what's going to happen. They think that like their mind is going to melt into it and you're going to become a virtual being forever or whatever. But that's not the case. But so when we take the headsets over to residents like old folks homes or Alzheimer's units or dementia units, what it does is that it flexes that brain just like it would as if they were going to an environment in real life. And they've done tons of studies on this, and they can see how the brain lights up as if you're going to a new place in real life. So I can take them to
Awesome.
Rome, I can take them to Italy, I can take them to anywhere in the world, and it's like we went on a vacation, and they'll remember it and have a feeling like it's good, like a really fun vacation.
That's awesome.
Now, I've also done a ton of research on why it's so difficult to take care of Alzheimer's and dementia patients. One of them is that they get into what's called a negative loop. So this is a negative thought process that they can't remember why they're angry, but they're angry because the emotion sticks around. In VR, you take them into somewhere new or take them to their house where they used to live, and they light up because one thing that they always want to do is go home, and we can take them to their home.
Oh, wow.
And we even have programs where we can take a 3D camera, put it in their house, and record with the family, put on the VR headset, and you're there.
Oh, that's
And so they can go home and experience dinner or family time or whatever with the grandkids, just like they could before they had to be, for physical and for reasons to be inside, safety, to be inside the homes. So all of a sudden they can be a part of the family again. So when they take off the headset, they don't always, after 10, 15, 20 minutes, depending on the patient or the resident, they can't remember the experience, but the positive emotions are still there. So now they're like, wow.
That is awesome.
And that wow, they get stuck in a positive loop. And now toileting, taking care of them, doing grooming, all that kind of stuff is a lot easier when someone who's positive versus someone who's angry for who knows what reason. Because they can't explain it, right? They don't remember. So that's why VR can be used in so many different aspects of life. They're using it in therapy. They're using it with, using it with older people is new. And it's something that we offer that I don't think anybody else offers around this area. There are people doing it in Europe and stuff, but we're the only ones that are going, hey, this is going to be good. And my mom has Alzheimer's, and I take it over to her. And something crazy happened last week, and I'm not going to say that this was the direct result from using VR, but this was crazy. She did remember something that happened last week. My brother came over and did a dance for her and another resident. And she says, you remember when you came by last week? You did that dance? Oh man, this girl won't stop talking about it. And I was like, what did you just say? Like, you totally remember something that happened last week? And then when I went back over, she didn't even remember that it was her birthday that day. So it's weird how the brain makes all those neuron connections, and VR can help reconnect or make new connections. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's
The
really
science
cool.
isn't
And
all
have it
100%
be a
there.
positive experience. That's
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah,
They need that.
for sure.
Well, I think that what you're doing is great, and I know that my boys love coming here, and
Well, we love your boys and we love your family.
We couldn't drag them away. We tried to get out this morning without them, but no, they're back there playing. So anyway, thank you for that. And we're just grateful that you've brought this to the community, and we're so grateful that you're doing it for the kids and for the other people that are involved. So thanks for taking some time with us.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it. It's good to see
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.